Yeah, good morning, everybody. So this morning on watch, I have NVS. It's pulling back this morning. I put a Fibonacci on it. Looks like it got a pretty good bounce off this Fibonacci. I think I only have one number. Yeah, I have one number, 9425. Yeah, you know what? I might put a second number on that one. Down here, 93 or so. Let's go ahead and put a second number on that one. 92, 96 roughly. Let's get to match up with that line. 92, 94. All right. So looking for a fib retracement here, and if it well, I'll see how it acts on the first number. If it just plows through the first number, then I'll use the second number. Then next on the list is PACB. And I've got a level of 3422 on PACB. I might put a second number on that one too. At first I only had one number on it. So let's go down here to that roughly 32. Let's go back and look. 3192. So those are the large cap movers that I'm watching today, just those two, NVS and PACB. We've got KOSS, which is a small cap momentum name here. I don't know what the catalyst is. It's not showing up in my news. There was a volatility halt on it 18 hours ago, so yesterday, towards the close. So yesterday it closed at roughly $6. And is now opening up this morning at 1050. So the strategy on this one is a gap and go, or a pullback, and then the first 1 minute candle to make a high, most recent high after a pullback. And the same thing is going to be true with EDSA. I put levels on EDSA, and the reason I put fibs on EDSA is because it ran up this morning and is pulling back. So you can see it's done this up and then sold off a bit. So it went as high as 1187 and now it's come down to 963. I won't use the levels as entries. I'm just using them for guidance. I will still be using the momentum strategy on the small cap momentums. You know, you have to use, in my experience, you have to use the momentum strategy. Fibonacci's usually don't work. It's usually just kind of a guide for where the stock is trading. Entries on momentum is just new highs. The next new high after a pullback. All right, so now I'm getting my windows set up, my trade window set up. And we will be on our way. Pretty short prep this morning. The past couple of days, there've just been so many things to watch that it's easy to get lost in all of the activity. PACB, and then for momentum, I'm going to put momentum and my large caps in the same array here. KOSS, a little bit less clicking back and forth needed to get from one name to another. Actually, I should go over yesterday's trades a little bit. I got lucky. And also, yesterday was quite a day on the market. There was a lot of movement on the SPY that you usually don't see in one day. So here's the SPY. And yesterday, let me take some of these levels off. It's pretty busy. So yesterday we had this move from roughly high 384 down into 378 and then back up again. Quite a ride, and it's really quite fortunate that it did that because it helped me recover. I didn't trade with discipline yesterday, and it's a bad habit for me to trade this way, but I was in BlackBerry for 1,500 shares, and I got in damn near the top at $20.60, looking for another breakout over the pre-market high, and everything was going fine. And then the market just took a dive right there at that same time. Let me make this a little bigger. So fortunately, I'd mapped out levels on BlackBerry previously, so I got into a 500 shares here at $20.60, and then I got into another 500 shares at $17.45, and I got into another 500 shares at $15.87, and that put me in at an average of $18.20. Oh, I got it at $17.80. Sorry. So 2060, 1780, and roughly just over 16 bucks. After it hit here, it shot back up again really quickly, and I was able to get in at the bottom of this candle right here. And so that put me in at an average of $18.20, and I was able to get back to almost break even right in here. I let it go. I think it was on this candle right here that I let it go for like a 10-cent loss, maybe a little bit less than a 10-cent loss. So I lost 100 bucks on the entire trade instead of, I was down at one point I was down $3,000 on the damn trade. So fortunately the market gods were nice to me. Now if I'd held on to it, this morning it's opening up around 19, it's right now it's at 1944. So that would have been a nice $1,500 gain, but BlackBerry, the news was that there is no news. BlackBerry has no idea why, has no reason to give for why its stock is catching a bid. So I got lucky, and it's because I didn't get out quickly enough. It moved down so quickly. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is just a quick, test of this breakup candle here, right here. And I was like, oh no. Well, okay, so 1780, and I had 1780 as, this sort of a support level from pre-market. So I was like, okay, 1780 hold. And it bounced to 1780, but it wasn't enough of a bounce from 1780 to get me break even. So I was like, okay, well, let me, hang on to it for a little bit longer. It'll come back up as the market recovers. And then it kept going down. I was like, all right, so what's the next level? And it's the top of this gap at 1589. Was the next spot to average into some more shares in order to average down to be able to look for an escape price, essentially. And it worked out. That's not proper trading. That's averaging into a loser. It's adding to a loser. Every once in a while you can get away with it. And the reason that I would have let it go if it were a small cap momentum trade. I would have let it go much sooner. It's a large cap. It's BlackBerry. They're still doing government contracts. They're more secure than iPhone and Google's or Amazon's phone or whatever other phone that's out there. So I was like, okay, look, this thing's, it's going to recover. It's not, like some little momentum, $4 or $5 stock or something that people just, trade for the first hour and a half a day and then forget it ever existed, kind of thing. So, but I still got lucky, So the discipline needed to trade profitably on a consistent basis. Um, it's cutting your losers, and cutting them fast, minimizing the losses. So I got lucky with that one, fortunately. I started averaging into SBE yesterday. So SBE did its thing where it really dipped below. I mean, yesterday was a crazy day in the market, and I got in here at 37.77, I think, on average. So keeping an eye on this. The next move that I'm looking for, I'm bullish tech and energy, and so the next move I'm looking for here is this move up to this resistance line here at the top. So I was waiting. I didn't want to be in this leg, and the reason I didn't want to be in this leg is that after a stock puts in a pattern like this, that's really like easily definable. Once it gets to sort of its third, it gave me one chance, gave me two chances. I wasn't aware of the stock until it got to this point right here. And then I made a small trade on it for a little bit of a run up from 36 up to 39. I was like, okay, it's not going to make it all the way back to its resistance line this time, because that's just experience tells me, once there's like an easily definable pattern, then the stock won't do it anymore. So I erased that trend line there. Let's get that back. Let's go to this one right here. Okay, so yeah, I'm in this one for a swing trade, probably for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, and then I'll come back and take a look at what the stock price is doing. DraftKings is pre-market. It's up a little bit. Oh, and yeah, by the way, if anybody was looking for a correction in the SPY, that was it yesterday. Let's see what kind of move it made yesterday from top to bottom here. That's a 1.64%. That's not much of a correction, but it's going to have to do in this market right now. Things are bullish. Okay, so EDSA is pulling back a little bit here pre-market. I'm just going to kind of wait to see what it's going to do, and see about getting an entry on a pullback for EDSA for momentum to the pre-market highs. If EDSA makes it past 1190, then it's got blue skies. Let's see. It's certainly new recent all-time highs. Here we go. Okay, so EDSA ran up to $19 one day at one point and then fell back down. So you can see here that it's most likely going to run up and then fall back down. I mean, it's just this stock has a history of popping up. Here it pops up, pulls back, pops up, pulls back, pops up, pulls back, pops up, pulls back. That's just kind of the name of the game for this stock. So with the momentum play, I'm going to have to pick my entries carefully and take profits quickly. That's the way small cap momentum works. All right, keep it on the 1 minute. Move the SPY out of the way. So I'm looking for opportunities again to get into calls on the SPY. And Looking for an entry point on DraftKings here. Let's get rid of this line, get rid of that line, and I'm going to put, what's the price level here? It's hard to see. 53.05. So I'll have an entry for 53.05 on DraftKings. If it'll give it to me, I'll take it. So a small pullback from the pre-market movement there will get me into DraftKings at 53.05, and we're just looking for a 1% move. I'll sell half. I'll probably get into 400 shares, get a 50-cent move, sell half, and then let the other half ride to see if it can make it past 54. See if it can start making its way back up to this recent high here, 56. And then the idea is to see it make new all-time highs. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, remember to click subscribe. Hit the like button for me if you want. If there are any ideas you want to go over, let me know. We've got about 15 minutes to the bell, so there's a little bit of time to look at some trade ideas. And say hello in the chat for me too, so I can see who's here. So that is the game plan for the day. I've got DraftKings on watch, NVS, PACB. I'm already in a position on SBE, PACB. KOSS is getting a pre-market bid here. That's nice to see. And then EDSA is pulling back a little bit, which is actually also nice to see. So KOSS will hit a level somewhere around in here and decide to start running back up again, and it'll be worth a trade, a momentum trade. All right, so that is pretty much it. Let's check the scanners here real quick to see if anything popped up on the momentum scanner. There's KOSS, EDSA. There's PHUN. I've traded PHUN a couple of times. Its float is a lot higher now than it used to be, but PHUN has been a pretty good trade in the past. Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Got a little bit of snow here today, so I got into the office a little bit late because the drop-off schedule for my 3-year-old was altered a bit. I haven't had a chance to get breakfast yet. Dropped my mic there, sorry about that. All right. If you're here at the channel, say hello. If you're hanging out, let me know what you're looking at. Let me know what you see in any of my trades, any of my trade ideas. We'll get rid of the Fibonacci there. Get that out of the way. KOSS is still doing a pretty good job of moving up pre-market. So my guess with KOSS is I think it has a really low float. Yeah, it's got a float of 7.45 million. That's what it's showing on Trade Ideas. On I'm sorry, on Trading View. On Trade Ideas, it says it only has a 1.42 million share float, which means with such a low float, this thing really could squeeze pretty quickly to the upside. And there's already pre-market. There's already 6 million shares traded pre-market, which is already 4 times rollover on its float. I'll probably watch KOSS the closest for an entry opportunity on a pullback. I'm going to cut the mic so that way you don't hear me chewing. All right. Get some chow down my neck there. Oh, okay. They reported earnings. Let's see. Interesting. So year-over-year rise, that's good. Missed consensus. Well, you know, analysts have their opinions, which, if you know the saying about opinions, everyone has one. Usually they stink. Sort of like another body part. So let's see. Let's see where NVSS decides to get support. It's looking like 94.25 to me for right now. I'll probably trade a couple hundred shares for a bounce there at that level. Let's see if PACB, where's their earnings? They have earnings coming up. KOSS is pulling back a little bit from its highs there. EDSA is still kind of leaking down. I was kind of getting some orders ready here. Lately with momentum, these things have been just trailing off. Yeah, after the open, they trail off just big time. I saw a Bloomberg article that said the OTC market uh, last January was trading roughly $80 billion worth of stock a month. And as of December 2020, so from January 2020, it was the OTC market was trading at 80 billion a month. And as of December 2020, the OTC market was trading at $1.1 trillion a month. So the institutions are in this thing. When there's that kind of money sloshing around the small caps, the institutions are participating. They're in there, fighting for some dollars too. So I've noticed that small cap momentum, it used to be really systematic. I mean, I don't want to say it was easy. However, the way to trade it was really quite systematic and reliable. As long as you were fast, you could get in and out and make some rather steady gains. In the past, I'd say 6 months, the environment has changed, and it's a lot trickier. The up moves are a bit more random. Like instead of just buying the next 1 minute candle for a move up, it's it's just out of the blue. All of a sudden, a momentum stock will just start running up from some random price, and then it'll plummet back down. And we're talking like $4, $2, $3, $4 plummets. After that random run up, so it's really sucking traders in, and giving them the hammer after they get sucked in. So I've been really quite fortunate to have not gotten caught up in anything too severe like that. So, you know, protecting profits, you know, that's the name of the game. So KOSS is pulling back. We've got about a minute and a half to the bell, a little more than a minute to the bell now. And so we will get to see what decides to start moving, you know, with respect to a tradable pattern. So, you know, let me take this off of the 10-minute here. It's on the 1 minute. Yeah, it rolled over there, big time. KOSS did. It'll find support somewhere. Do I have any support lines on it? I don't. Let's put some support lines on the 10-minute. So this first dip, and then looks like there's a tiny gap right there. All the way down at $6. Yeah, yesterday's close roughly. So yeah, we'll see. Could get a bounce at this level here. Looks like a possibility. All right, we're live. And KOSS is my preferred, I mean, prior to this big dip down here. Okay, I got an entry on DraftKings here. Let's see if I can get an entry. I've got an order in for 53.10. It's a little bit higher than my preferred price. There we go. I should have gotten filled there. Okay, now KOSS is doing its thing here. So I'm going to wait for a pullback. The best entry would have been right here at 11.94. Above its pre-market highs of 13.27. Might be an entry. I'll have to see. Volume looks good. EDSA is pulling back. See what's hitting the scanner here. VNTR, NVS. All right, so I'm going to put a small order in for NVS. KOSS squeezing to a halt. Nope, it's not. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a pullback on KOSS. There we go. Got a little pullback here. And now the next 1 minute high is where I will look to get an entry. Okay, I got an entry on DraftKings. Let's go over and look at it real quick. Yeah, nice. So I'm in at 53.10. See if I can get a 54.15. I'm gonna sell half for dollars profit. All right, so I've got some cash in my pocket. Gas is still pulling back. EDSA's fading away. A little bit of a fake out there. So the entry would have been over 13.10 right here. You can see it pulled back pretty dramatically. after that false breakout right there. So we had the gap and go. So it opened, traders bought, and then they waited a couple minutes and the traders sold. So there was a range. I mean, if you caught the very bottom, which is like impossible, but if you bought at the open, 11.69, and then sold at 13.05, I mean, it's almost $1.50. You probably could have caught $1 per share profit in there pretty easily. I didn't go for it at the open. EDSA is pulling really far back now. I think I have 760 is a relatively high point of confidence for a trade. KOSS is hanging around the highs here. Boom. Wow. That was huge. All right. So it doesn't look like KOSS is going to give me quite the opportunity that I thought it was going to give me here. That's pretty tough to negotiate as a trade goes. It looks like it's going to go into a halt here at 1387. Yeah, trading halted. Okay. All right, well, that's halted. Let's check out DraftKings doing its things. Very nice. I'm up $1.50 per share right now in DraftKings. SBE is bouncing away from that support level there. Definitely like to see that. Okay, so EDSA's plowing through that 797. I'll look for a bounce here at 760 and see if I can make a few bucks at 760. I've got an order ready to go. So I got into a small position on NVS. I'm in at 94.21. So we'll give it a few minutes to develop. I might have to get in on the second entry on this one at 92.94. Okay, NVS popped up just a bit. I'm looking for at least a 1% move here to take profit. So I don't know if this stock will really give me the opportunity at this point in the morning or not. This thing still has a little bit more sort of fluctuation to go through. It's kind of in a bit of a down move here. The scanner's pretty busy. PACB is kind of moving back and forth. KOSS, let's see, 9:35. So here within the next minute or so, we ought to see if it's going to be a 5-minute halt or a 10-minute halt. DraftKings is doing its thing. Okay, KOSS opened back up, tipping deck down. It's gonna halt on the way down now. At 12:15, looks like, yeah, there's a tremendous amount of selling at $12.15 there. Looks like it's gonna halt. I'm like, yep, halted on the way down. All right, so it's putting in an opening range. Let's see, EDSA caught a bounce there at 760. I didn't submit an order at 760. Let's see if I can catch a few cents here. All right. I'm along at 783, it looks like. 778, nice. I'd like to see it move over 796 right here, and then make a push for 872. All right. Kind of grinding. The level 2 isn't moving very fast. SBE is making a really nice move here off of that resistance line. Really like to see that. It's nice when a trade comes together like that. Yeah, so I'm in an average of, let's see, I'm in at $37.83. So, I mean, I got it right when it started to come back up through this resistance line yesterday is where I started to pick up some shares. It was yesterday in the afternoon sometime. EDSA, I'm going to go ahead and I'm letting EDSA go here for just a few cents profit. Pardon me. Okay. Yeah, so I made 4 cents on EDSA there. If EDSA is going to make a move, I'll wait until it pops up over 796 here, which would be actually $8. It's probably really the price to watch. If it's going to make a move, put a new alarm on that. So if EDSA starts to break through up through that level again, catch a bid, I'll be on it. Okay, so KOSS 940, and so within about the next minute or so, we ought to see KOSS open back up again if it's going to be a 5-minute halt. If you're on the channel, say hello. Okay, KOSS is open again. And EDSA is pushing through that. It's attempting to push through that $8 level. All right, so I'm long 500 shares of EDSA at 804 a share. And I'm looking for it to push to 872. I'm getting an order ready for KOSS at 1018. I'm not sure if it'll make it all the way down to $10.18 a share here, but that's the best entry I can see for it right now at this point. The next 1 minute has got to make it over 1208. It's a lot of work for a small cap right now. 02. See if it'll come back and test this 796 level and bounce away again. I've got a target of 872 on EDSA. On 500 shares, that would be about $350, a little less than $350. Let's see, hitting some resistance at 8 1/4. Kind of typical. Yeah, a little bit There's a 2,800 share seller and just got bought out. So nice. So now the next target's going to be 850. You know, this kind of seems like the way that it works. The next price to punch through will be 850. If it dips back below 825 here, I'm going to sell for 20 cents on 500 shares. It's only $100, but I don't want to get caught in a downdraft. I've got a sell order ready to go. If I see 825 roll through the level 2, I'm going to pop out of it. 28, 30, 31, 29, 40, there we go. Yeah, 850 ought to be the next spot for it to punch through. A little bit of resistance there at 840. There's a 3,700 share seller at 840 that just got taken out. Very nice. So now 850. Let's see 850. There's a 6,400 share seller at 850. There's 850. I didn't see how many shares went through, but it was a lot. 850, 850. Boom. There we go. Okay, so 872 is the next one on the board that I'm watching. Got some support in at 850. Yep, just blew back through the 850 level there. I'm going to let go of half for some profit. So 250 shares for 4 cents, or for 40 cents. Profit for 250 shares, you know, so $100. It's not bad. Oh, all right, I'm letting the rest go. All right, so I'm all out. EDSA there. Let's see what the realized gains were. EDSA. All of it added together, I don't know, there are a whole bunch of numbers here. It looks like it's probably about $250 total. Let's go back to KOSS. KOSS is still dipping down. Kind of, there's this big consolidation range right here. I don't know how that's going to translate across to regular hours. That's all in the pre-market and post. Well, this is pre-market, and then the blue section is post-market. So in yesterday's post-market, it looks like it got a bounce at 868, and then in today's pre-market, it got a bounce at 1018. All right, so the next 1 minute candle to make a new high. It's still before 10 o'clock. It's kind of waiting for the next breakout spot to reveal itself. Overstock is on a tear again. Overstock is back at $81.56. That's just coming back down. Almost got to 872 there. Couldn't quite make it. I took profits on this 1 minute dip right here. I went ahead and got out. Bye-bye. All right, well, it got a bounce at $8 there, $7.96. Looks like it is going to be support. That's probably a pretty decent place to make a trade. Go DraftKings, yay. Oh wow, NVS. Oh no, sorry. 94.54. Yeah, it's just kind of hanging around this number here. PACB really isn't doing much at all. EDSA had a pre-market at $11. Let's see. I'm gonna put in a small order at $8 here for EDSA. Actually, it's $7.96. So if we get another little dip below there. Here we go. Are you going to give it to us? Big buyer, 5,800 shares at $8 on the bid. And so somebody's buying this thing. Let's see if it failed at 8. No, back up at 8 again. I don't know. Ho hum. All right, KOSS, are you going to try and make another run here? So far, um, this is kind of the pattern. So get the gap and go, leaks off, and then at some point during the day it finds a bottom and then runs up again, which has been the pattern lately. 1071 to 1120. I mean, so price has decided to turn around kind of in this area right in here. So it might decide to run. But it's not a high confidence trade for me. Beautiful. Beautiful. 30 with 37, 37.83 right now. So I'm up almost $3 per share on this swing trade. That is a wonderful way to see, when you get into a stock, on its way up, and it gives you a $3 cushion. It's just nice. KOSS is still just kind of working its way down here. EDSA is trying to hold on to the 796 level. Well, it's looks like it's profitable. It's putting in positive earnings. Revenues, 5.2 million, 3.95 million, 4.7 million. So it took a dip along with everybody else. But it's a small cap that's profitable. It's showing earnings per share. That's a big deal. It's not easy to do. I think I'm going to start averaging in right here a little bit, 100 shares at a time over the next, hour or two. So I'm in 100 shares at 11.05 right there. See if we can get this thing to keep curling here. See if it's found a higher low right here. All right. So the price to beat is 11. Looks like the high here is 11.28. Yeah. So a move over 11.28, and we got to start seeing some fireworks. I'm gonna. It looks like we're trying to put in a bottom here. Looks like we're trying to put in a little bottom after a big dip for a move back up. And so I'm going to do a little buying in this consolidation range. I'm in at $11.16 on 200 shares on average. So a pullback, below 10 again, it won't scare me. 1065-ish. That'll actually be okay. It'll be another spot to buy. Okay, here we go. Got an order in for 1089. All right, I got it. A quick little pop down there. Now I'm in 300 shares at 1106. See if there are a lot of bottom tails right here, so it's buying support. These bottom tails right in here are showing that buyers are coming in. Fairly low volume. Well, I guess 1 million. That's not too. The volume isn't too bad. It's up 95% from yesterday's close. Let's see. It made it over its pre-market high there. There's this stock VIR that's been making noise all morning. I had my stocks on watch, so there wasn't really an opportunity there for me. Let's see if I can pick up some more on the cheap here. Got an order for 1081 to buy. Nope, as soon as I put my order in, it popped up just a bit. little bit of last minute selling here. Let's see if I can catch some support before the close of the candle. I mean, ultimately, 1018, is where I would let it go. So I averaged in the 400 shares at $10.99. And now the price for it to beat is a high of 1119. So over 1119, and we ought to start seeing some moves up. You can see how it's consecutively making lower highs here. So the next higher high that it makes, this is the 5-minute time frame, we ought to be in business. All right. This just looks like a buy to me at 1018 here. Wow. Some buyers definitely came in on that dip. The low there was $10.30. I think that was probably about it for the selling for a while on the stock. It looks like it's put in a bottom, and we'll give it a few minutes here. This is only one 5-minute candle. It's not, and the candle isn't closed yet either. So we'll give it a little bit more time here. But that was a pretty nice bounce that it made off of 1030 right there. Imagine that this is probably, I mean, the pre-market buyers came in right here, and it was trading 4 times float in the pre-market. So that's probably a pretty reliable, at 1018 level. It's probably a pretty reliable level. I would have liked to have averaged in to a few more shares down there at 1018. I might get my chance here. Got a minute to go. SPY is starting to pull back a bit. Got some profits here on DraftKings I'd like to protect. and then SBE as well. Okay. And so small cap momentum tends to light up a bit when the broader market falls away. Not sure what the deal is with that, but there seems to be an inverse relationship with small caps and large caps. So when the large caps start fading away, the small caps start making a move. All right, here we go. They're going to give me a price here, KOSS. All right, here we go. So I just got filled. There we go, 1711. Okay, so I'm long 700 shares right now at an average of 1064. I still have another, let's see my order status. I still have another buy at $10.07 for 100 shares. So I will be in 800 shares of this at $10 and an average of, I don't know, probably $10.50 or so, something like that. I'll see if we can get a bounce off of 10 here. 1007. All right, I'm in 800 shares for $10.57. There's a fight over 10. There's a buyer at 10 that just got taken out. There we go, back above 10 again. So KOSS is fighting over $10 right now. $10 is an important psychological level. So if it holds 10, it holds 10. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Got about 2 minutes left on this candle. Oh, I forgot to pick up coffee this morning. Usually I take my kid into school and grab some coffee on the way. But this morning, because of the snow, changed up my schedule a little bit. And I didn't grab coffee, so now I'm dragging my ass. So sleepy. I could put on some lullaby music and go to sleep. Let's see. Got a minute to go on this candle. A close over 1018 would be ideal right here for KOSS on this 5-minute candle. That's definitely, I'd like to at least see that. A close over 10 is like the minimum. All right, so close over 1018 would be highly encouraging. Close over 10 is at least the least it's got to do right now in order to see another leg up in the next few minutes. 10:18, 15 seconds to go. 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and closed at 10:15. Okay, so it's over 10. So I'm in 800 shares, an average of 1057. So let's see if this thing, let's see if we get buyers who are interested in it. It's a pullback on, earnings, I guess, does it say year over year? Q and sell fell. I don't know if that's year over year or what that is. It's a profitable company, at least. So, and after earnings, after getting beat up on earnings, I don't know. It's still up. Technically, it's still up 70%. So, here we go. The Next new high that needs to make is over top of 1034 here. So you've got a 3,200 share seller at 35. Resistance. I mean, the 9 EMA is at 1074 right now. So I can see it hitting that and getting rejected from it. It needs to, first it needs to make it over 1035, the high of this last candle. The high of the last candle is 1034. So a 1 penny beat isn't going to be anything to write home about. Definitely want to see it hit over a penny. Yeah, there we go. And then hit like 5 to 10 cents over. So if we can hit 44 or 1044 right here, then we could probably be in some business. There we go. There's 1044. All right, 1045. Now the next thing for it to make it over is the high of this candle. Let's put a level on it. 1066. There we go. Can it push past 1066? There's 67 on the ask, 65 on the ask, 62 on the ask. There we go. All right. So now, see if we can make it past the 9 EMA there, 1086. All right. I went ahead and let it go. It might run up further than this, but this is another thing where I averaged down here. So I sold at what looks to be about 1070-ish. So I made 13 cents off of 800 shares. So nothing really to write home about there, but at least it is not a loss. It's green. I'll take it. And I think I'm letting SBE run. This is a swing trade for me. I'll probably hold on to it for about a week, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. I'd like to see it make it above the this trending line here. This is just a wonderful setup here. I've been waiting for it to hit this, to test this line. Now, yesterday it punched through and went quite a bit lower. I happened to start paying attention to it right at the point when it was at this level right here. I'm in an average of $37.86 on this. So I caught it right when it was moving back up above this line, maybe just a hair below it. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm just kind of watching that. And then DraftKings. I've taken a little bit of profit on DraftKings from today. And I'm just letting the rest run. We're getting ready to head into what a lot of people are considering the blow off top to this bullish move through all of this bad data and all this other craziness. So everybody's expecting a a blow off top. I mean, everybody's bullish right now. And it does make sense. I mean, there is strong economic data coming out of everywhere, really. So yeah, I'll just kind of roll with it here. I don't have any EDSA. Yeah, EDSA is leaking back below this pre-market low here at 760. Can't hold on to it, so it'll probably trail off for the rest of the day. KOSS, after a pullback, I'll have to come back to this one. After it pulls back a bit, it's 613. I'll have to come back to KOSS and see what it's doing. As of right now, it's just kind of trailing off. It had its gap and go moment here at the open. So in the morning at the open, if you bought say 1,000 shares at the open, would have dipped down about $250 on you, but then run up pretty quickly, within 5 minutes up to 1385. But then it sold off again after the circuit breaker halt. Usually with these things, with a gap and go, there's a subsequent push again to the higher prices to explore to see if it can break all-time highs. I'm just not going to be around for it. I think I'm pretty much done for the day. And I will see everyone tomorrow. Good luck out there, everybody.